Some of the highest VO2max scores ever measured belong not to the strongest athlete alive or the fastest sprinter, but to cross-country skiers in a sport most people never watch. And the reason is one of the most elegant facts in human physiology. Medal-winning skiers rarely test below the mid-80s in milliliters per kilogram, a level almost no runner reaches. So why a skier and not the cyclist or runner you would expect? The answer comes down to 3 things you can copy in your own training, whatever your level. By the end, you will know all 3, and why the same engine that powers a champion skier is the one that guards your heart and brain for decades. First, some numbers so the scale is clear. VO2max is measured in milliliters of oxygen per kilogram of body weight per minute. An average healthy adult sits somewhere in the 30s or 40s. A fit recreational athlete might reach the 50s. Now climb. Well-trained runners and cyclists push into the 60s and 70s. Elite professionals in endurance sport reach the high 70s and into the 80s. Each step up here represents years of accumulated training, not just talent. Cycling produces some of the most extreme values ever seen. Elite road cyclists routinely test in the 70s and 80s, and in fact, the single highest VO2max ever reliably measured in a lab belongs to a cyclist, just under 97. Their entire career is built on delivering oxygen to the legs, hour after hour. But cycling is not the peak, and to understand why, you have to notice something hiding in the units. VO2max is per kilogram of body weight. Every kilogram you carry is a kilogram you have to supply with oxygen. So the ceiling isn't just about a huge engine. It's about the engine relative to the body around it. That single detail explains the winner. As a group, the highest VO2max values on Earth belong to cross-country skiers, clustered right at the ceiling of human endurance, higher than almost any other sport can claim. The question is, why skiing? The answer is the most beautiful part of this whole series. Cross-country skiing is the rare sport that maximizes both engines at once, and almost the whole body in a lean athlete. It is physiologically close to the perfect storm for a high VO2max. Start with the muscle mass involved. A runner drives mainly with the legs. A cyclist the same. But a cross-country skier propels themselves with the legs and the upper body, pulling hard with arms, shoulders, back, and core on every single stride. Far more of the body is doing aerobic work at once. That matters because VO2max isn't just set by the heart. It's also limited by how much muscle is actively demanding and extracting oxygen at the same time. Recruit more muscle simultaneously, and you can pull more oxygen out of the blood. Skiers light up nearly the entire body as one giant oxygen sink, then layer on the central engine. To feed all that working muscle, the skier's heart has adapted to enormous stroke volumes and cardiac outputs, moving vast quantities of blood per minute. Delivery and extraction both maxed in the same athlete. That's the combination Part 1 told us to look for. And now the final piece, body composition. VO2max is per kilogram. Remember, cross-country skiers are typically lean, with relatively little non-working mass. A huge whole-body engine, divided by a light, efficient frame. The math of the ratio tips in their favor. Put it together, and skiing wins on every term of the equation at once. Maximum active muscle mass, a heart adapted to feed it, and a lean body to divide it by. That's why, as a group, cross-country skiers reach the highest VO2max values on Earth. It's not luck, it's physiology. There's a fascinating footnote here about the whole body idea. Rowers generate massive absolute oxygen uptakes, some of the largest total figures ever measured because they're big, powerful athletes using huge muscle mass. But per kilogram, all that body weight counts against them, so their VO2max scores sit below the skiers. It's a perfect illustration of the trap from Part 1. Absolute engine size and VO2max are not the same thing. The rower has a bigger raw engine than most skiers. The skier has a bigger engine relative to body weight. Different questions, different winners. So what does any of this mean for you, who is almost certainly not a professional cross-country skier? More than you'd think, because the same 3 principles that build a 96 also build a healthier, more capable you at any level. Principle 1. Use more muscle at once. The reason rowing, skiing, and swimming are such powerful aerobic tools is that they involve the whole body. If you want to build your engine efficiently, choose modalities that ask your arms and legs to work together, not just one or the other. Principle 2. Build both engines on their own clocks. The central heart adaptations come in weeks with some harder work. The peripheral muscle adaptations come over months and years of easy volume. The skiers didn't choose intervals or long, slow distance. They spent a career doing enormous amounts of both. Principle 3. Body composition is part of the equation. You don't need to be race lean, but carrying less non-functional weight genuinely raises your VO2max per kilogram. And with it, your capacity, your ease of movement, and a marker strongly tied to how long and how well you live. And that's the thread that ties the whole series together. In part 1, VO2max was 2 engines. In part 2, it was the right engine for your sport. Here at the top, it's the same physiology, simply pushed to its human limit by the athletes who happen to use the most of their body at once. You will never need a 96. But the engine that produces it is the same engine that protects your heart, your brain, and your independence for decades. Every Zone 2 session, every hard interval, every whole body effort is you building a smaller version of the exact same machine. So the real lesson of the highest VO2max on Earth isn't about skiing at all. It's that your aerobic engine is trainable. It's built on principles you now understand, and it is quite possibly the single most valuable physical asset you can invest in for sport and for life. One honest note, this is education, not medical advice. Big changes in training should be gradual, and if you're older, out of shape, or have a heart condition, get cleared by a doctor before you push toward your ceiling. That's the series. 2 engines, the right one for your sport, and the beautiful physiology at the very top. If this changed how you see that number on your watch, subscribe and grab the free longevity guide at longevity-performance. Keep building the engine.